Hey guys, good morning. I just wanted to have a quick look at Mythic. I spent some of yesterday, some of this morning looking at the fight, how it goes, how people do it. It looks really easy to me, but last time I said the boss was easy, we were wiping on Fetid Heroic. So I hope I'm not wrong on this one, but it really doesn't look too hard. The fight with the cheese strat that we're going to be doing, which is to bring sub-rogues. This group has 4 of them, we will also have 4 of them. Our rogues are at, say, 360 item level-ish. That it seems to be about the norm for people doing this strat, so we should be good to go there. What it basically means is we're going to have 3 tanks, much like these. We're going to have, I hope, a Demon Hunter tank, our 2 regular tanks, and a bunch of sub-rogues. And we're going to be kiting the Krogs all fight, and we're going to be killing a couple of ads. Other than that, we're going to be spamming Shuriken Toss into Eviscerate, which means the boss dies really fast. This is a cheese strat. I don't think there's many guilds that don't use this. I think it's a good strat as well. So yeah, I took a log from a guild called One Last Attempt. It looks quite similar to our guild, same kind of comp. So we got 4 rogues, healing comp seems to be kind of same. They got a bunch of tanks there. I mean, they have a prot tank, right? We do have a prot tank as well. Looking at the replay, fight's really straightforward. We bloodlust on pull. And during the bloodlust, we just pile onto the boss. Just hard nuke the boss. There are 2 ads up, but the ads kind of get cleaved down. This Hexer dies from passive cleave. For the most part, I believe. And then after the Hexer dies, which would be somewhere during the bloodlust, we will have to hard switch onto the Crusher to finish it off. This is kind of important, right? So the bloodlust runs off and people are all on the Crusher here. This thing needs to die. I think it steps away once, right? So during bloodlust, and it goes away. And then when it comes back, bloodlust is kind of over. And people switch onto the Crusher. Now you see the Demon Hunter tank kind of kiting around the ads here. And I think, you know, this is 2 minutes in and they're already at 40%. So this is kind of how it goes, right? We just really hard single target nuke, kill the boss. We do get a second set of ads that spawns, right? So you get the Crusher and the Hexer at pull. They get a second set as well, but every guild seems to just be polying the second Hexer and nuking the second Crusher. So I think here at 130-ish, somewhere in here, yeah, you got the second Crusher here. Right here it's at full HP, and you can see everyone, I say everyone should be on the Crusher at this point. Although apparently they just kind of nuke it down with cleave. Point still stands though. This Crusher has to die. It has to be dead when we get to the transition. So this guild made the criteria, so they killed 2 Crushers, 1 Hexer, and they're in phase 2 with no ads up other than a Hexer that's polyed somewhere here. And then phase 2 starts and it's kind of same. They just kind of continue like this. Obviously there's no ads, so they just keep nuking the boss until it dies. There are 2 new mechanics on Mythic. It's not something you really need to worry too much about. There's one where you take like a debuff. It's shown right here. When you stand in puddles, for example, you're going to get a stacking debuff. So you can't just soak all of them by yourself. We need to kind of have multiple people soaking this. I think this is quite natural though. And the second mechanic is something you shouldn't have to worry about at the pull. 1 ad will spawn with a debuff. And this debuff can be dispelled, and when I dispel it, it will hop over to another mob of a different type. So in case it's on the Krog, I'm just going to dispel it off the Krog so it gets on the Crusher. So basically my job is to make sure the debuff is on the right target, right? So I want the debuff to be on the first Hexer that we kill. Then we have to get it onto the Crusher. And we have to get it onto the second Crusher, and that's pretty much it for the second debuff. So that's pretty much the entire fight, guys. For dispelling, Obviously, you can dispel the small ads with Blood Elf Ratio. Please don't do this in phase 1. I checked the timings. I should be able to mass dispel and then single dispel purge all of them in phase 1. So please keep your ratios until phase 2. And some other notes. Here's the note that we're going to be using. We're going to set a bunch of markers just to have like feeling of, if we need to call something like add here, add there, there's going to be a marker. Like I said, I should have all the dispels in phase 1. Save your Blood Elf ratios for phase 2. All DPS should spec really hard into single target damage. It looks like an ad fight, right? So you're thinking like, oh man, AoE cleave, this is going to be amazing. It's really just a single target fight, honestly. You're killing 3 ads and that's it. So single targets is super important. Like, you gotta make the timings, you gotta be able to get Soul down before you get extra ad spawns. So once again, ad prio. We kill 1 Hexer, we cleave it during Bloodlust. Then we switch onto the Crusher after Bloodlust to finish it off. When the Crusher 2 comes, we got a hard switch on it. I did see this guild. I checked different guilds. Most guilds hard switch onto it. This one didn't. We're gonna have to see how it goes for us. And then there's going to be a second Hexer, but we're just going to be perma-CCing it for the entire fight, so we don't have to worry about the second Hexer. For healing, short fight, so only 1 set of cooldowns. We're going to be using them when the debuffs run out. So these things here, we remember these from Heroic, right? They're like Dark Revelation. When it expires, you spawn ads and the raid explodes a bit. Here they explode, raid gets low. We're gonna just get through them without a cooldown on the first set. But when it happens again, we're gonna be using Revival. And then in phase 2, you get the single target dispel fear things. We're gonna use cooldowns there as well. So on the first set we'll have Aura, second set Trank. And then on the third set, if the boss is still alive by then, which is around here, right, so this is where we won't have any cooldowns. We have to use some personals and pots to survive this blast, so we can kill the boss if it happens. And that's pretty much it, guys. So hope to see you tonight, see how we do.